Tonight, we're going to embark on a captivating journey filled with insights, inspiration, and the secrets to leaving your mark in the business world. We're here to guide you on a path of purpose where entrepreneurship meets significance. From igniting your passion to making a lasting impact, join us as we uncover the keys to creating a legacy that will be remembered for generations to come. You don't want to miss it.
Our goal is simple: to help you achieve the dream and vision you first had when you thought about starting a business. We're here to make growing your business less complicated. There are building blocks to build a sustainable business. We promise to seek them out and address them all. The Better Your Business Show starts now.
Are you there?
Welcome. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Am I here? I'm here. Thank goodness. Just sliding right in. Technical difficulties tonight, but the show must go on. And so, Shanna, I didn't get to hear a word you said, but I know it was awesome. Tonight, we are talking about legacy, and we have Baz Porter with 8888 Coaching here tonight. I'm really excited to hear from him. I was reading just what his coaching program is about. And it's funny because as I was reading through his stuff, I was like, wow, he is so well written. And I'm not even sure I know what that word means. And he's so articulate, right? And then as he's talking about his coaching program, I just thought to myself, you know what, how you do one thing is how you do everything. And that's so awesome that he has that attention to detail. And I'm excited to see how it shows up in his coaching business. So I'm really excited to hear his story and the things that he's doing. Because of our technical difficulties, I missed a lot of his background, and I would come in on some good stuff and walk away. So I have this whole story in my mind.
It is interesting. And I am excited as well to speak with him because he's got just this backstory that you didn't hear. I mean, you're going to hear it. That's the beauty of it. You'll hear it with everyone else that's watching.
Yes.
But his heart to serve business owners was really what touched me when I saw him on Alignable. I read his story, and I loved just how he transitioned from one stage to the next. How he wasn't concerned about money as much as he was concerned about helping business owners. That stood out to me. And it was just like, okay, we got to get this guy on there, especially when we're talking about legacy, because so many business owners now are legacy minded. There is a significant number of people who are, all about the gig economy. Hustle. I got my side hustle. I got this, I got that. But there are a lot of business owners that are coming out saying, hey, I want to create a legacy. I want something that's going to last beyond me. So I'm excited to hear the tips and tricks that he's got, what we should be focused on, just how do we create that legacy that we can be proud of, that we can pass along to our children or our children's children, wherever that lands. I'm really curious to hear a lot of what he has to say because of how he's made it to where he is, right?
Yes. Definitely. So we'll bring him up in just a second, but I do want to read to you guys something that he wrote that I just believe is so beautifully said. And I know it's one of the reasons why Carlton and Shanna and all of us here with IB Systems and the Better Your Business Show do what we do. And I just loved what he wrote. He said, entrepreneurs and business owners create lasting legacies that echo in corporate America and reverberate through the financial systems across the globe. Their influence and efforts can yield a generational impact, fostering sustainable lifestyles for future generations. So knowing that we can create something sustainable that's going to change our legacy forever, right? That's the goal of their company and what they're doing. So let's go ahead and bring him to the stage. Baz Porter, 8888 Coaching. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Good evening, ladies, and thank you very much. It's a privilege and an honor to be here with you tonight.
Where are you coming to us from?
I live in Colorado. Not
Colorado.
in Colorado at the moment, but yes, it's what I call home.
Okay, awesome. I love Colorado. I was just curious what your time change was.
Not so much. I
I
actually,
think I'm the earliest one on the call, so.
Yeah, you really are. Always, Natalie. You will always be. They'll be like, I'm ready to go to bed as soon as we're done.
Right.
And you're like, it's early. It's happy hour time.
Right? Yes.
Yeah. So Baz, we are excited to have you on here. Both of us were touched by things that you wrote, that a little bit of that story that you've got. And I would love for you to share some of the story of how 8888 coaching came to be. Just that transition that you took through what I saw in Alignable. I guess that's what, share that.
Thank you. Yes, certainly. So 8888 coaching was born out of the infinity. 8's are standing for abundance, infinity, and the cycle of life. And I wanted to do something different other than just my name, although that is the LLC. I wanted to give the title of something that was worth doing, and it could be rotated through a different angle. So it's partly spirituality, universal stuff, but it also resonates with a lot of people when it comes to the infinity and also the birth of or regeneration of something new, which ties it back to my own story of rising from the ashes many times, but then also using them experiences to drive myself and in turn drive other people to their ambitions and legacies in their world. That's where it came from.
All right. So I was really interested in how you were coaching for free.
When I first started this madness journey, because it has been madness at times, I was originally on Facebook and I wanted to find a vehicle that was worthwhile. So I got invited to a Facebook group that was full of people going through problems.
Yeah.
And slowly but surely I got made admin of that group, and obviously my name grew. And I found I was doing a gardening job at the time, helping. I was running a gardens open to the public. In my spare time, I was actually on Zoom calls and phone calls with people all around the world, Australia, through America, South Africa even, and I was helping them through problems. All it was doing at the time was listening to people and then walking through their issues and their challenges and coming up with tangible solutions to solve them. What I didn't know was what I was doing was not only building a 4,000 people group up slowly to 36,000 people within 6 months, because people just gravitated towards it because they were getting free coaching.
Yeah.
And that was okay to a point, but I was spending 18 hours a day working, not just in the gardening job, but on this. But I was fueling my passion. And then I had an overwhelming urge to travel. So I lost my job gardening because the group took over. My car, this happened within a week. So picture this, it's midsummer. So it's the busiest time of the gardening that I was doing. The garden's open to the public. It had a $40 million turnover per year. So it was a very busy garden. My car blew up. The engine on my car blew up. I couldn't get to work, so I lost my job. In the next 4 days, because I lost my job, I couldn't pay my rent. So I lost my house. So I was homeless again, all within a 7-day period. Now I took that as a blessing that I shouldn't be there. I had a bigger purpose. And I started to charge donations for my services. And donations could have been $1, it could have been 10. But that's how I accrued the money to do my next chapter of my journey. But it was just helping people solve problems, which is what essentially coaching is. And once you get good at it and you have the relationships, you start to build networks. And then networks grow, and they go to a different level. And then all of a sudden you have groups of people requesting your services, but I didn't know to what end. So as my business grew, what I didn't realize was a business at the time, I earned enough to, or had enough donations to put aside to get a plane ticket to New York. I had $360 in my back pocket, and I had a visa, 3 months ESTA, and a one-way plane ticket to New York. On January the 6th, 2019, I got on a flight from Birmingham Airport, traveled across to Dublin, spent a bit of time in Dublin, and then went to New York, where I embarked on a 3-month journey traveling 33 states by donations. And I was hitchhiking, Greyhound bus, just crazy stuff. But I never was in a place in that journey where I was hungry or I was unsafe. The only time that I was actually sleeping on a park bench, and it was in Chicago. And if people remember going back to 2019, in around March time, Chicago had a polar vortex. It was minus 55 degrees Fahrenheit on that bench. And I went, that's the last time I'm sleeping outside. It was freezing cold. And I put a message out on my network saying, is anybody in the Chicago area? I want to help you. I actually ended up staying 2 weeks, 10 days, in Chicago. And I helped a couple save their marriage. They were on the brink of divorce, and they were going through about 3 years of rocky times. And I came in and I had a conversation with both of them, resolved the issue, and they're happily married now, and they're still together. And then I carried on my journey. But I realized serving people and building up integrous relationships was the key to unlocking other relationships. It was the turning key for service and building other people's dreams and legacies out of their dreams, and then building a pathway from their goals, and then transforming people's lives from that methodology into the next stage.
Okay, so I love that for business owners. As I think about that, you said transitioning from their goals to their legacy. You're helping them create that.
Mm-hmm.
And before the show, you were talking about how exactly you helped them. You created this methodology. And so I'd love for you to share that with the audience so they can hear the mechanics of it. Even, so everyone has their way of doing things. Pillar 5 walks, people automatically or digitally. There's this accountability system that is within this program that says, take these steps and you're going to build a sustainable business. It's the Pillar 5 methodology.
Mm-hmm.
There's other ways. And that was one of the reasons that we love this show, is we want to bring different options to business owners so that there are choices. So tell us about the methodology that you created and how it helps business owners create these lasting legacies.
Certainly. So on that journey that I was on, I started to study the best people in the world. People like the greats, Tony Robbins, Grant Cardone, Gary Vee, Bob Proctor. I could go for a long time. But I realized that I couldn't copy anybody else. I wasn't Tony Robbins. I'm not 6'7", hands like shovels. I'm Baz. So I wanted to give something unique, but was me, and it came from my heart. So I sat down, dissected everything that everybody else is doing, and put it back together in my way of transforming people's lives. And I came up with this acronym called RAMS. And it stands for results, attitude, mastery, and systems. The result is obviously what you want.
Right.
The attitude is your mindset and discipline, etc., etc. The mastery is applying the result to the attitude, mindsets, and all the rest of it to reinforce the habit, build the disciplines, and go forward. The last stage was about systems. And systems could be automation. Systems could be a relationship. Systems could be a complete business rehaul and a new business model. But I remembered in my journey that I wanted to serve a higher level. So I wanted to put legacy in there as well, because the people who are always striving for more also contribute back to society. And at the time, I didn't know how that was going to work, whether it be veterans, whether it be homeless people or people who are hungry.
Yeah.
But I knew in my heart, everybody who had uber success or who had made it in through the hell that the journey they go through has always contributed at a very high level. I'm only one person, and I can't do everything. I'm
Right.
not the best in I'm the best at what I do. I'm the expert at what I do, but I'm not the expert in tech. I'm not the expert in longevity.
Right.
I'm not the expert in medical fields. And I can't speak to that because I'm not a PhD or a doctor. So I surrounded myself with people who are like-minded and were the experts in their field. And what happened was a knock-on effect of recognition and relationship building on a much higher level. I had a look at the referral networks within the coaching industry, and they're anything from 5% to 10%. And for what I deliver in my business, that isn't good enough. It's not about get rich. It's not about me being famous and wandering around the street with a Lamborghini. I don't do that. It's about giving back and changing people's lives. So I scrapped all that, and I came up with a 25% referral fee for anybody who refers in, because it's giving back. Then I partnered with a company called RGT. Now, RGT is based in Canada. They're about to move to Florida. It's a social impact fund. So they've got seed investors. We bring on people in the coaching. They get given an app. That app is included in the coaching. If you buy it separately, it's $40.60. Out of that, we feed families on non-GMO food. It's the only one in the world to have, as far as I'm aware, don't quote me to that, as far as I'm aware, to have non-GMO food and a full menu. People get email and you go, no, it's not, whatever. Right?
Yes, as far as he knows.
As far as I know, it's the only one. So if you do get an email, please let me know, because I'd love to.
Yeah.
And then we partnered with him. His name is Stephen Clark. And then we started building things and making more relationships. But all in that time, along with the structure of RAMS, changing people's lives, we were giving back to small communities. And that grew. Changing people's lives on a reoccurring basis, feeding families, giving back. For me, that fuels my soul. It's not about, spending the next, paycheck on a watch or a Lamborghini or a big house. I've been down that road of egotistical stuff, and it failed me. I wasn't happy. I was very miserable. So I've been to both sides of it. And what really fuels my soul is giving back to society and seeing in a kid's eyes that light up when they have a full belly and they have water and they have a safe place to live and stay.
Yeah, there's nothing more humbling than that. I remember when I would volunteer, it was through one of the churches that I went to in Oregon. They would always have these times that we would go out and serve, the homeless community, serve food. And it was just watching them light up, like you said. It's just like they're so excited for this warm meal. To be inside from off the street. So I love that this organization is supporting that, that it's looking and saying it really isn't about us. It's not even about these businesses that we serve fully. We serve them, yes. And there's a part where it's just serving so many different groups there, but at a very base level for this one, that's just marginalized group of people that and we've all, well, I don't know about everyone. I guess I can't speak for everyone, but many people have done that. You've walked by because it's uncomfortable for you.
Yeah.
So I love that they're being seen and fed, right?
I mean, I recall when I was in Chicago and I was wandering the streets, I was sat just outside a coffee shop in Starbucks, and there was a girl on the other side of the road by the traffic lights, and she was freezing cold. She was wrapped up, and I must have watched 100, if not more, people just walk past her, and they didn't even acknowledge her. And I had $50 left to my name. It was a $50 note, and I just had a cup of coffee, and I actually walked over to her. I said, "Are you okay?" She's crying, and the tears were it was that cold. The tears were freezing as she came out. And I just said, "This is my last $50 note, $50. Can you please use it to get something to eat or somewhere warm to stay tonight?" And she just went, "What?" She couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
That night, I found somewhere else to stay. It was warm, etc. But I knew that was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
But it was just the fact of her pure emotion of gratitude. And it wasn't about how much it was. It was just the fact that someone actually acknowledged her. Someone saw her. And it's a thing that's missed within a lot of people, especially if you've never been homeless or never wanted for food or drink,
right,
then you wouldn't have that experience. But if you go outside, I have been homeless, I have been wanting for things, and it's not a nice experience. So I remember what that was like. And if I can make an impact on that and change people's lives, that's what I'm here to do. It's not about get rich. It's not about get famous and being on the biggest stages in the world. It can be a part of it if that's your journey.
Right.
But
that's not why you do it.
That's not why we do it.
Yeah.
And I admire people like Tony who have made it that far, and then they have got others involved with things, but they've modeled someone else. That's how they got where they are today, and they were persistent about what they did. It's not about what we do now. It's about what we do now that's going to set something up for our future. Our time's changed. And myself at my age group, we can't change our era. But if I can build a legacy for somebody else, our children, our grandchildren, that's what's going to make the impact. And that's why I do what I do every single day. Because I know it takes one person to change. And that will create a ripple effect down the line, which is what I'm all about and what I do, and why I partner with people like this.
I love it. And it feels like there have been so many organizations and I guess entrepreneurs that have started organizations that I've been really blessed to be a part of this past couple of years that have that same mindset. Mm-hmm. I can't do it all, but together we can help you through because we each are gifted in different ways, right? So it's just looking at that saying, like you said, I'm an expert at what I do. And when you're with me, I'm going to do everything in my power to help you within my area of expertise. But when it steps outside of that, let me get you to this person over here that's going to do far better for you. That's going to, just change the trajectory because you can now move faster. You're not having to look things up. I'm not having to look things up and interpret it to tell you. And then you try to figure out what I'm saying, that whole telephone game that we're playing with. Oh, let me chat GPT said for me to tell you this. And now I've spun it my way. And then by the time you get it, it's just like, okay, now what am I supposed to do? So it's really, I love that heart. And David Richardson is a business coach. He's business credit guy is his title, but he has coached people. When we met, we started talking and we discovered there's this alignment in our core values and we wanted to serve business owners. And he's like, oh, Now I know what space you sit in, and that's the seed to startup stage, right? I don't want to try and scale your business. I don't want to try and I just want to sit with you where you need the most grace, where you need that understanding, and let's puzzle through this together. I know what this stage looks like. I know what all of these components are. I can help you in this space, which for him said, oh, now I can focus solely on business credit. I can do what I do best.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it's time for this stage, where are you in your business? What do you need to do? We can work in conjunction with this business owner and just change their path, and accelerate the growth, because we're getting them there faster by focusing on what we do best, and then putting those systems in place. Like you said, it's that same mindset. So I love that there are other organizations out there that are doing this and making a difference. And with the social impact of it, you open my eyes to something, because it's like, oh, we can do more. It's not, we can do more. What are we called to do in what space, so that we can serve that community? So I love what you're doing there.
There's two things you said that really stood out to me then. It's number one, firstly, doing more, but having an upper view of it. So, okay, I want to do this, but what are the steps to get there? The other thing you said was in grace. Grace is a very powerful word, and it's an unconditional word because it means of our Father, or for a higher purpose. And when you look at words like inspiration, the Latin for that is to be in spirit, or alignment, or coincide. To coincide is to be in alignment. When someone is in a disease, they're out of alignment from something.
Yeah.
So if we chunk down the words and you listen to people's language and you pay attention to the little details in them, like yourself, grace, that tells me so much about your psychology and where you come from. Because grace you can't say unless it's from the heart, because it's a word that is done or used in unconditional language.
Yeah.
And it's a very powerful word in a lot of ways, but people don't use it enough in business, because I think business is separate from something that is personal. It's not. Business is a part of who you are. It's a part of your identity. It's a part of your belief system. And if you're doing something from an integrous heart space, you are consistently in grace. When you walk on stages, and I've had the privilege to speak on some very big stages, prestigious stages around the world, it was walking on stage in grace of service. The first time I did it, I was petrified. I was shaking. The hands were sweating. I was pouring off a sweat. I had stage fright. But 30 seconds before I walked on, I closed my eyes and I went, I'm doing this in grace. And I spoke to whatever you call a higher power, God, universe, source, doesn't matter. And I went, help. Give me the strength to do this. And I discovered that I was a walk-in. There's 7 different types of speakers. I won't go through them now, but it's the longest conversation. But I'm a walk-in, so I don't remember what I say on stage. I have an agenda, I have a pathway to get there, but it's not me speaking, it's whatever that higher channel is through me. And that is what really drives me to serve in grace for other people, businesses and personal, to explore who they are and then open them up to a higher pathway or higher knowledge.
I love it. That's the perfect time to just transition into our Just Good Business segment. We are, this is the night for technical difficulties, y'all. It's the end of season 4. I cannot believe it. Our business owners, we got a time challenge there. I guess it's 3 a.m. their time. So I don't think anyone realized it when we signed them up, but we are going to talk about their business. But before we do that, Let's look at the Just Good Business segment, where we shine a light on businesses that are making a meaningful impact in the world. Today, we have the honor of highlighting She Is. It's an extraordinary organization that's dedicated to empowering women who have experienced sexual abuse through the transformative power of dance. With each graceful step, She Is brings hope, healing, and a renewed sense of empowerment to survivors. They harness the art of dance and are creating a positive impact on the lives of countless women, helping them to reclaim their joy, their confidence, and their sense of self-worth. If you'll visit their website, sheispowerful.org, you can dive deeper into the inspiring story of She Is and discover how they're transforming lives through the intersection of dance and healing. This is She Is, an organization where the power of dance becomes a beacon of hope, strength, and resilience. This is Just Good Business.
So the reason why I started She Is, I was sexually abused when I was younger, and dance was the only time that I could feel like myself.
All of these things that kind of get you back in to feeling. It allows you to get grounded, and you can feel your feet, you can feel your fingers, you can feel the arms.
I want them to value themselves and know their worth, and nobody should take that away from them.
A wise man once asked, what if starting a business was like jumping out of a plane? And like 76% of businesses, what if 76% of parachutes failed before you reached the destination? What about those of you who have already jumped? Well, you may still have time to check your business. Pillar5.com, where businesses get it right.
Welcome back. This is the season finale for season 4 of the Better Your Business Show. My name is Shanna Mavis. Natalie Essman, the host of the show, had technical difficulties from the beginning, so we've missed out on having her here in studio with us, but I'm certain she's here in spirit and probably one of the people watching in the audience. So we both are so excited to just continue the conversation with Baz Porter of 8888 Coaching. We're talking about creating a legacy tonight, and we do have a business owner bio that we want to cover some of their concerns so that when they wake up, there's a present for them. They can just rewatch the show. We're going to talk about some of the concerns that they had. I'll find that. But Baz, while I'm looking for that information to do justice to them and bring up their information, I'd love for you to talk about what creating a legacy really means to you. And then how do you, as part of your legacy, how do you help business owners create theirs?
That's a very good question. In fact, that's a very, very, very good question. In order to answer that question, I have to back up a few years. And in my journey through adversity, going from the forces into homelessness and addiction, drug addiction, and coming through that, I saw a lot of people on the streets who were craving something beyond them. What I wanted to do was build something that was sustainable, not just in my lifetime, but I didn't know what that was, and I didn't know how to achieve it. knows how to scale it or anything else. Yeah. Legacy to me is leaving the world in a better place than I found it. But it doesn't mean the trash is going to get picked up. It doesn't mean you can stop all the abuse and all the adversities and the horrific things that are going on in the world. I heard someone tell me once, the world is a direct result of the consciousness that it is right now. The inner consciousness of us is a reflection of that. So I came to thinking, what does change actually mean to me and how to apply it? Well, you can't change the world as a whole. It just can't happen. But if you can start to change one person at a time, and that doesn't mean you can change it, throw a magic wand and have everything done for them.
Right.
But if you can change their mind or their belief system about a decision they've made or a situation in their life, if you could change it enough to make them believe in themselves once again, that's enough to start the ripple effect, and they can pay it forward to somebody else. The change starts when we start collectively coming together and start singing off the same song sheet. Most people in the world are divided by hatred, race, belief systems, and they're fed by many different avenues. The one thing that is consistent with everything, whether in every single human being, the love for other people in different respects and different modalities and different ways. If you could create enough love, enough, as to your word, grace within somebody to send that ripple out to something else, an energetic ripple to begin with, because everything starts with a thought, a belief, and then a decision and a choice, and then the action after that. As a coach, mentor, whatever you want to call us, another human being, my passion is to guide them through that choice into a higher level of belief within themselves. Not to guide them all the way to the end, but to guide them enough where they can actually start using the tools, creating the relationships, understanding what legacy is for themselves without me putting words in their mouth, and lead them to go and do what they do best. But I know from my journey, it starts with a conversation. But it starts even before that. It starts with asking yourself, am I worthy? Am I able to do this in grace, in love, in compassion? Once you start asking yourself these questions, legacy starts to build for itself. I'm not creating that because they already have a vision of what that is for themselves. I'm just there as a sounding board to say, well, what about this? How about this relationship? I know this person. I know from my experience we can do this, this, and this to create that. And being there, not to hold their hand, but as a light in the tunnel, not at the end of the tunnel, which most people are like, we're over here, Mr. Lantern. Well, that's great, but how do I get from there to there and I can't see a thing while I'm here? I'm that guiding light in the tunnel because that is someone else's legacy that I'm helping them achieve. That's what I like to do because I can see the change in them.
Yeah. It's huge. It's huge. I'm going to bring Carlton on screen with us. This is a crazy night, folks. It's season 4. We're ending it. We're going out with a bang. Carlton, come on in. You've got some things to say. I know it. I can feel it.
We're going out with a bang. No, I just love the conversation on legacy and building the legacy and in his passion, Baz's passion behind the legacy that he seeks to build. And I think that's absolutely awesome to have a coach like Baz that can get that person connected to that, what that why is inside, that deep why inside that drives you. You don't have to worry about setting an alarm clock. That is your alarm clock. It's going to drive you. You don't have to worry about the weather. It's right there.
Yeah.
But I wanted to get into this conversation with our small business owner that was having an issue, and go over their the issue they're having in their business, and see if we can get them that gift that you were talking about, that present in the morning, when Gennaro and Roberto wake up and see that, oh my gosh, we have the wrong time zone. And then they catch the show, but they get to hear the information.
Yes. Okay. So let's talk about the company. It's Ginseng Agency, Gennaro Santoro, and their website. I don't know, Carlton, if you want to bring it up, www.ginsengagency.com. They are a digital marketing agency that helps business coaches scale their businesses. They create courses, utilize existing courses, and then they sell them for you. They find the leads, set the calls, and close the deals for you. They take care of all of the steps of the process, adding an additional stream of income to your business so that you can focus 100% of your energy on providing the best coaching services. So their products and services, it looks like are digital marketing services. I was hoping they'd be on to give us a little bit more on that, but you can go to their website. Their target customers are business coaches. So main business challenges. So Baz and Carlton and any coach out in the audience, here we go. So Ginseng identifies the following challenges: finding the right clients. We can all identify with that. Scaling the team with the right timing and prioritizing the right things, getting highly qualified leads, and improving the lead nurturing processes. For them, when I ask them specific areas of their business where help is needed, they're saying lead generation for them, lead nurturing for their clients, and then lead to call conversion rates for clients. So, Carlton, I know you know a little bit more about them. So anything that you can fill in the blanks to help us understand, give any more context. We want to go ahead and address the main challenges of finding the right clients, scaling the team the right way, basically. So they're saying, what steps do we take? And then what about leads? Everyone wants to know about that. So
Absolutely. So I do know Roberto and Gennaro. I had the pleasure of meeting them several times and having conversations with them. So to get down that rabbit hole just a little bit more, they have the capabilities of attracting leads. And I think this is the one thing many business owners I see post in social groups. They'll say, I'm attracting people, but I'm not attracting my people. I'm not attracting the right audience. So they can bring people into a room. They can get 30,000, 400,000 people looking at them. But are those the same people who like vanilla ice cream? All you have is strawberry, and you're trying to sell strawberry to people who like vanilla ice cream. And so they both like ice cream, but it's too general. So right there, the action step, I actually went into pillar 5 with them and said, here we go, let's find it. The action step that we do at that stage of a business, when they say, I'm getting people, but not the right people, that tells me that your ability to attract your audience through magnetic messaging, having the right pitch, having the right visuals, your videos are 3 minutes and blah, blah, blah. And where your platform is all right. Where what needs to happen to make sure that you have the right people is to make sure that you've done my favorite, Shanna, value proposition canvas. How many businesses do we know, right? Well, we talk to that make all kind of money. And we say, do you got a value proposition canvas? And they go, what is that? And it's like,
okay, well, we're going to give Baz a chance to speak, Carlton.
Yes.
We got to share. We got to share our toys today. So Baz, let's talk about this. So they're talking about finding the right clients. What would you say to this business owner?
This is an interesting subject because I've just been through something similar in my business, and I've had to redo everything. We talked about this earlier. So there's a buzzword out there at the moment. You may or may not have heard of this. The famous AI platform, ChatGPT. It has
What's
its
that?
uses. Yeah, I don't know. But what I actually did, I'm blessed to be a part of a mastermind and my network of people. And I went again to the best people that I know of to help me understand what the hell this new thing was, because I was like, this is scary. It does things and I don't want to do. So I went to the mastermind. I saw this guy. His name is Peter. He lives in the UK. Amazing guy. I went, what do I do about this problem? Because I like these people. They were having a load of people come in, and I could see them through other Google Analytics and some other things that I use. They were clicking on all this stuff, but there wasn't any interaction. What I realized after going down a rabbit hole and meeting Alice in Wonderland and doing all that was my messaging was wrong. It was an emotional disconnect between the messaging and them not receiving what it is they were after. And I spent a week in ChatGPT going through the people who were my ideal clients. And what I discovered wasn't just me, coaches, and a lot of companies, not just coaches, but a lot of small businesses market to everybody, and they blanket things.
Yeah.
What I found out very quickly was stop that. It doesn't work. To your point, Carlton, vanilla ice cream and strawberry ice cream, there's a disconnect. If you market to one person individually, and you do all your messaging, or your social media posts, or the color schemes, everything to that person, you're going to find very quickly who is actually interested, who can afford it, and who can relate to you. And this conception of I'm marketing to someone like me is not true. It just is not, because there's no one like you out there. You've got to market to the person that can afford you, likes what you do, and can resonate with the person that you are through the conversation that they're having with the website, whatever lead generation you're using in the messaging. And you have to build the follow-up system that works, not an automated email system. I personally found a video marketing system afterwards to introduce yourself. So yes, you send an email, but don't write 1,000 pages of lines and paragraphs, because I'm not going to read it. I'm dyslexic. I'm not going to sit there and read paragraphs and paragraphs. I'm on video and say, hi, thank you very much. This is what you're going to get. I'm looking forward to seeing you.
So let me ask a question. What would be the one step that we can give them today that Ginseng can wake up tomorrow and go, I'm doing this step today and I'm going to get an answer and I'm going to move in that direction?
Readdress your ideal client.
How would they do that? We like to be really specific on the show. Like, person's going to walk away, fill out this form, ask this question, go. Right.
I'm going to give you a hint. He's leading to the value proposition canvas. Okay, but no, seriously, I do want to hear what you have to say, because there may be another thing that we all need to be exposed to. So
what I personally did, I primed ChatGPT. I prompted ChatGPT with everything that I knew, and then I asked it a specific question. This is the question I asked. If there was ChatGPT, if there was anything you could suggest to make this prompt better, what would it be? And it did.
So the questions that you asked to even begin a dialogue in ChatGPT, right? So you can prime it up for what you're talking about. You were giving it information in regards to your ideal client. So you were no.
What you do?
The steps that I used was priming. So there's a concept called top and tailing. So I tell the AI it is a copywriter for my company.
Mhm.
It has X amount of years of experience.
Mhm.
I give it me, as in my company, all the biometrics for that.
Yep.
And it is writing for that.
Mhm. I'm with you.
And I'll abbreviate it with Baz 4, something like that, so it can refer to it. So I'll say to it, remember AI, remember this conversation as, in brief, as Baz 4.
Mhm.
And then I'll go in and say, with this persona, and I've got a general persona, they're 54 years old, they're real estate agents, they're earning.
That's the part I was going to right there.
Yeah.
How'd you get there?
Right. So I will say, give me a general overview of somebody that would ideally like this style of coaching for this outcome. It will give you a general idea. It would very, very general. And then I'll ask different clarifying questions with the AI. I will have a complete conversation with it. I will go through ages, where they shop, what times they shop, their colors they like, what they like shopping for, what they like to do on weekends. I'll ask questions about their family. And all of this conversation I will build on and on and on.
Yep.
And I'll get so detailed with that person, I feel like they're my best friend. Then I'll go to the social media and pick one social media. If you've got less than 100,000 people you're talking to, just one, because that's where your audience is. And I've done this. I'm only on LinkedIn and YouTube. I do shorts on YouTube because that's fun, and I do LinkedIn. That's it. Because the people that I'm advertising to are on LinkedIn. That's where they are. And then I will start to build social media posts for that specific platform with the general keywords. And I'll build up a list of keywords, hashtags, and I'll market to that person 2 or 3 times a day with video content, and I'll mix it up with, hooks, marketing stuff, but I'll build everything around that person, and I'll cut out all the rest of the noise.
So that would be the starting point for
Yes.
ginseng would be, to your point, go to ChatGPT, give it as much information about you as possible, and get some data.
Yeah.
And I think that's awesome.
Yeah, I love it.
Roberto, you know what I'm going to tell you, so you can go back and watch the video, do a value proposition canvas. It's basically what he's saying, and you can do that value proposition canvas inside of ChatGPT. Just say, hey, ChatGPT, I need to do a value proposition canvas. Please ask me all the questions you need to fill it out, and then it'll fill all your answers for you. Okay. But I think those both great. Shanna, to you, are we?
Yes, in less than a minute, I want you guys to each address the lead generation. High quality leads. How do you get them?
Social listening.
Listening and relationship building.
Perfect. See, I love that. Y'all can be succinct. All right, Baz Porter, you have been amazing. Baz Porter of 8888 Coaching, talking about creating this meaningful legacy through your business. Some of the things that go along with that. Baz, just one last thing for our audience. Practical step. What's like we were just talking about for ginseng, specifically to their marketing concerns or their challenges. One step that they can take today, business owners can take to create a meaningful legacy in their business.
No matter what you're doing in life, never give up. It's not about what you deliver. It's about your heart behind it. And that will carry you further than you can ever imagine. You can have the most expensive software, the best website, but if you're not aligned with what you're doing, you don't believe in what you are doing or even who you are, you won't fail. You'll fail and you'll stop at what you're doing and you'll get bored. Align with something within you to create bigger steps, not just for yourself, but for so many other people.
Yeah.
Don't think here, think there, but align with a much bigger vision. And you ask yourself this simple question: what if.
I love it. Baz Porter, CEO of 8888 Coaching. You guys go to his website, check him out, set up time with him. He's going to benefit you. Just having that conversation with him and building a relationship, it will change your life. So thank you so much for joining us. We are going to go into It's Your Boy Fitzroy. He's giving us another banger of a website. So let's take a look at what he's got for us this week.
It's your boy Fitzroy, and for this season finale, I have a banger of a website that's going to help you better your business. The website is rationale.jina.ai. This site helps business owners make difficult decisions faster. Just put in a decision or options to choose from, and using the in-context learning algorithm AI, Rationale will create a list of pros and cons in a SWOT analysis to help you make a rational decision. Have you ever been with your significant other and had that all too familiar conversation about what to eat? Hey, what do you want to eat? I don't know. Okay, how about this? Nah. How about we eat this? No, not that, but anything you want is okay. I'm excited for Rationale to end the what you can eat conversation for good. If you've used Rationale, leave a comment below about your experience of it helping your business or your dating. And until next season, don't get beat up out there.
All right, we are just about done with the final episode of season 4. We want to take a look at the free money that we have for you. Scoured the internet, found some options for grants that are expiring this month. So let's go ahead and pull up the first grant. It is the Rooted in Growth grant. So this one is for hair care founders and innovators. The Amika Rooted in Growth grant plus mentorship program is powered by SoGal Foundation and is designed to support Black, Indigenous, people of color, women, and non-binary founders in the beauty industry. Substantial $25,000 grant plus mentorship networking opportunities. It aims to provide long-term success by fostering diversity and innovation. So you must self-identify as a BIPOC female or non-binary founder, have a legally registered business, and demonstrate scalable, high-impact solutions or ideas with ambition to be the next billion-dollar business. So hair care providers, hair care founders, look up that grant. The next one is the New York City Pride Small Business Opportunity Grant. This one is for LGBTQIA+ entrepreneurs in the New York City area. The NYC Pride Small Business Opportunity Grant is in partnership with MasterCard. They have 3 $10,000 grants along with digital tools to boost your online presence, plus virtual mentorship. You've got all of the rules and conditions, the terms and conditions. Go to their website. At the bottom of this, we'll post it on social media tomorrow, so you'll get another chance at this. But this one expires mid-July, if I'm not mistaken. The other one expires, all of them expire sometime in July. So the last one for this season is from this DC-based organization. The Washington Area Community Investment Fund is offering grants of up to $100,000 through the Small Medium Business Growth Fund. These potentially large grants can be used to support capital improvements, equipment purchases, technological advancements, all kinds of things in industries like green innovation, experiential retail. So there's a lot of little conditions, but these are potentially lucrative grants. So look it up if you're in the DC area. We want to make sure that you have that. It is time. That is a wrap for today's episode of the Better Your Business Show. Hope you've enjoyed this season. We've really enjoyed bringing it to you. I'm so sorry Natalie is not on screen with me, but I know she is here in spirit. Just wishing you all the best. Remember, the power to create a lasting legacy lies within each and every one of you. Embrace your unique strengths, stay true to your values, and let your passion drive you towards a future filled with success and impact. So as we sign off, we want to tell you, do something today that your business is going to thank you for. Go to pillar5.com/try. Take your assessment. Figure out where your business is, and your business will thank you for it. See you next season.
Our goal is simple: to help you achieve the dream and vision you first had when you thought about starting a business. We're here to make growing your business less complicated. There are building blocks to build a sustainable business. We promise to seek them out and address them all. The Better Your Business Show